Learning English grammar does not begin with rules, books, and complicated charts. It begins with simple sentences you can see, feel, and use. Many learners start by memorizing grammar rules, but then they freeze when speaking. They know the rule, but their brain becomes slow. Real learning happens when grammar grows naturally, like a plant, slowly every day with practice and meaning. Imagine you are building a house. Grammar is not the decoration. Grammar is the foundation. If the foundation is strong, everything else becomes easier: speaking, writing, listening, and reading. The first secret to learning grammar easily is to focus on short, real sentences. For example, instead of trying to memorize present simple tense, simply understand sentences like, I live in Ethiopia. I study English. I like coffee. When you repeat simple sentences again and again, your brain starts to recognize patterns automatically. You begin to feel grammar rather than only knowing rules. That feeling is powerful because it makes you speak faster and more naturally without worrying all the time. Another important step is to learn grammar in context. Context means real-life situations. For example, instead of saying, the past simple tense is used for completed actions, you can learn like this. Yesterday, I studied English. Last night, I watched a movie. 2 days ago, I visited my friend. Now your brain has pictures, memories, and meaning attached to grammar. Meaning is what makes learning easy. When grammar is connected to your life, you will not forget it. Now let's talk about something many students fear: mistakes. Grammar mistakes are normal, natural, and necessary. Children learning their first language make mistakes all the time. They say, he goed, instead of he went. Nobody laughs. Nobody tells them to quit. They keep speaking, and one day they say it correctly. The same will happen to you. When you say something wrong, it is not failure, it is practice. Every mistake is a teacher. The only real mistake is silence. To learn grammar easily, listening is just as important as speaking. When you listen to English, simple conversations, slow stories, short videos, you hear grammar again and again. Your brain is like a computer collecting patterns: subject, verb, object, time words, question forms. Even if you do not understand every word, your brain is learning structure automatically. That is why babies speak before they ever learn grammar rules. They listen first, they copy, and then they grow. You can learn the same way. Another key is to practice speaking simple sentences out loud. Your mouth also needs training. When you speak aloud, you connect brain, tongue, and memory. For example, stand in your room and say, I am learning English. I am improving every day. I am not afraid. Then try past sentences. I studied yesterday. I watched a lesson last night. I practiced speaking with my friend. When you repeat, your confidence grows, and grammar becomes your friend, not your enemy. Let's practice together with a simple grammar block: the verb to be. Many beginners struggle with this because they translate from their language. But in English, it is simple when we practice clearly. I am happy. You are tired. He is busy. She is a teacher. We are students. They are friends. To talk about the past, we say, I was tired. You were late. She was busy. They were hungry. Do not rush. Repeat slowly. Feel the rhythm. Soon you will use it without thinking.
Now let's move to present simple. This is the tense we use for habits, facts, and routines. For example, I wake up at 7. I eat breakfast. I go to school. I study English. Notice something important. With he and she, we add s. He works, she studies. He plays, she watches. Many students forget the s, and that is okay. It improves with practice. Repeat sentences like, he works every day, or she goes to class, and the pattern becomes natural over time. Another common area is past simple. Students often feel nervous because of irregular verbs, but relax. You do not have to memorize everything at once. Start with a few common ones. I went to school. I saw my friend. I made breakfast. I had a good day. Then slowly add more. Over weeks and months, not days, your brain will store them. Learning grammar easily means not trying to swallow everything in one day. It is slow, steady, and patient. Question forms are also important. English questions usually follow a pattern. For example, do you like English? Do you live here? Do you work or study? Notice we use do at the beginning. For the past, we say, did you study yesterday? Did you watch the video? Did you practice speaking? The more questions you ask, the faster you grow. Questions force your brain to move grammar actively, not only passively. Now let's do some natural Q&A practice so grammar becomes alive. Imagine I am your teacher and you are practicing with me. I ask, why are you learning English? You answer, I want a better future. I want to travel. I want to understand people. I ask, when do you study English? You answer, I study every morning before work. I ask, what is difficult for you? You answer, speaking is difficult, but I am improving. These answers are simple, correct, and full of grammar, but they do not feel difficult because they are about real life.
Here is another small conversation practice. I say, where do you live? You say, I live in Addis Ababa. I say, how long have you studied English? You say, I have studied for 2 years. I say, who helps you learn? You say, my teacher and online videos help me. Notice we are touching different grammar structures, but we are not afraid because they appear naturally inside real communication. That is the easiest way to learn. Reading is also a powerful tool for grammar learning. When you read short stories or simple texts, your eyes see grammar in action. You notice sentence order, commas, verbs, pronouns, and connectors like because, so, but, and. You do not have to analyze everything. Just read, enjoy, and understand as much as you can. Over time, grammar patterns sit inside your memory quietly, waiting to help you when you speak. Writing is another strong practice, especially simple daily writing. You can keep a small English diary. Every day, write 3 to 5 sentences about your life. Today, I woke up early. I went to work. I felt tired, but I studied English. When you write, you slow down your thinking and see your grammar more clearly. If you make mistakes, do not worry. You can correct them later. Writing teaches your brain to organize language. One big problem many learners face is comparing themselves to others. They see someone speaking fast with perfect grammar and they feel small. But remember, every learner has a different starting point, a different environment, and a different journey. Grammar requires patience. Even advanced speakers continue learning. The goal is not perfection. The goal is communication, clarity, and confidence. Perfect grammar grows naturally with time. Here is a helpful question students often ask: should I memorize grammar books? My answer is, grammar books are tools, not masters. Use them to check rules, understand structures, and practice exercises, but do not live inside them. Spend more time listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Use grammar books like maps, not like prisons.